Podcast. Welcome to another episode of Over Ask. Today we have very special guest, agency alum, fellow agency member. I'm not as you're one of the OGs of the agency, I think, aren't you, Keri?
Are you calling me old?
No, I'm not calling you old.
Def one of the OGs, yeah.
Get one of the OGs of the agency. You're a
You'll get there soon.
Thank you. I like this in your bio, Keri. Los Angeles lifestyle real estate agent. Sounds very posh.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I love it. So, Keri, thanks so much for being on.
Yeah.
How the heck are you?
Good. Manic Monday. We have, it looks like buyers are returning to the marketplace a bit because I had 3 different people trying to write offers yesterday, and I was trying to get a tan, but writing offers took precedence on that.
I was tanning yesterday, actually. I don't know if you guys could tell.
With your broken foot?
Yeah, with my broken foot, exactly.
Yeah. So, did you hear about this, Keri?
No, I didn't hear Eric.
Okay.
It's not interesting.
Eric
my foot broke out of nowhere for literally doing nothing.
Playing pickleball. I've been telling him to not play pickleball for months, and he just keeps playing, and now he's got a broken foot.
Yeah.
No, he's probably not even good. Keri, let's jump right into this, okay?
All right.
Here's the thing. Eric and I were talking. You are not only an OG of the agency, you're also an OG of, we think at least, real estate content creation.
Okay.
You're one of the first to really take off. Would you agree with that?
You have, probably. Yep. One of the beginners, I think back in 2015 is when we started curating our social and making a purpose and taking professional photos and that thing. So, yeah.
So what made you do that, and what has that done for your business?
I have to say, there's never an easy time to start anything. So when you're looking at people who have mastered social media or been doing it a while, it's very overwhelming for new people. But no matter where you are, you're always going to be pushing. Sure, you can both relate to what's next, where are we going from here, more platforms, more collaboration, more engagement, the whole thing. I mean, that's what we're always talking about. But starting back then, I'm grateful because it was part of the groundbreaking part of those people. But the thing is, you can get behind really fast if you're not keeping up with what's going on, because what was working back then is not what is working now. What was working 2 years ago is not what's working now. So you have to constantly be on your toes studying, and it's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, you were one of the first people on Instagram stories to show the behind the scenes type of shit. You were actually showing your life. You were showing, what you were doing with your friends, happy hours, stuff like that. And I remember you speaking at, was it a Brian Buffini? I don't remember I've seen you speak a bunch though. I've seen you speak at Tom Ferry conferences. And I remember it was just so enlightening because everybody at first on Instagram and real estate was only posting the just solds, just listeds. It was just this curated feed. And you were one of the first to kind of breach that gap and actually show your authentic self. So what was working back then that isn't working now, like you just mentioned?
Well, I mean, so back then you could go to a photo shoot and use these professional photos for 6 months and everyone thought you were a real estate celebrity. And now everyone has professional photos and nobody wants to see photos anymore. They want to see videos, and they want to see videos. They want to see reels. So it's a lot more work for what it is. And you still have to you don't have to make it so professional, but there is a level of, work that's involved, I think, with the new social media, with all the videos. But I personally find it a little bit easy because I just talk about what's going on in my day with my clients, the questions I'm getting asked, the stupid questions, the good questions, the learning points, mistakes I make, or whatever was going on with the team. But speaking to what used to be done then, a book that I read, I don't know if you've read it, Frederick Eklund, The Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't read it, but
that was the first book I ever read before I got into real estate. Yeah.
What?
Not the first book I ever read. But
right.
Fuck, that would have been terrible.
Just skipped right through Sorcerer's Stone and straight to Eklund.
Catcher in the Rye. Didn't read it, but read The Cell.
Of Mice and Men, out the door.
Yeah.
What year was that book?
Probably 2014, maybe, or 15, I think.
Yeah. So that was kind of right when we were starting things. And that book changed the whole trajectory of what to do. Because he had this example of, okay, so you get engaged. you want to post all the photos, but you can't. You post one in the morning with a little comment and you post one at night. You have to think about how you want to be portrayed. And he also mentioned things like if you're posting, hey, here's me and my best friends, or here's my favorite client, you alienate people. So he had a very inclusive story. And ever since then, I've taken that to trying not to single people out and trying not to make it like, I'm so cool, I'm here, I sold this house. And I make it like, wouldn't you love to be somewhere like this? Or wouldn't you love this house? Or what do you like doing best with your friends? Or what's the most annoying thing your husband does? Or is your dog an asshole? Like, I try to make it like inclusive.
Yeah.
And so that's something I've carried with me.
I totally get that. I feel like subconsciously I've been like that as well. Maybe from that book. Who knows now? But I never wanted to come to a point where it was like, and I've said this before, when you're in like a big like $10 million, $15 million house where it's just like another day in the office for you. You want to have that excitement still and don't want to feel like people watching you like are like jealous, or you don't want that. You want to include them in the experience that you're experiencing.
100%. Yeah. Especially when you're in California, it's beautiful all the time. And if you're constantly posting the sun, you're going to piss everybody off else. Everybody else off.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
yeah,
it's raining right here, right now. It's hot though. But especially in the winter.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric's, playing pickleball, breaking his foot in the winter.
You're right.
My car's literally covered in snow. Remember that, Eric? When my car was literally
I remember that. Yeah, we posted about that actually.
My clients actually asked me to do showings that day, and I couldn't get into my car.
Yeah.
But
don't know about that.
So, Keri, let's talk about the reels real quick, because I see that you are doing these now too. Are you doing the bulk shooting style?
Oh, yeah.
You're doing that professional, sitting in the chair, talking about the market type of stuff that is crushing it for everyone. So I'm seeing them from you. And I'm also seeing some collabs with Keeping Current Matters, about market updates. Like, your content is very market-driven, tactical content. So everyone should check it out. But yeah, what's your strategy with that?
Well, it's interesting because I went through a social media midlife crisis last year. Maybe it was maybe it was earlier this year after one of the events in January. And all these videos were being shown that were really stupid, to be honest. Stupid stuff.
No, and was my video in there?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Keri's literally talking to us right now.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Just like people making fun of their clients, making fun of other agents. And it just, I didn't feel good. So I started doing a couple like stupid reels. And then I just was like, that's it. I'm not doing this. Like, I don't mind doing some fun things. I want to do fun things, but we need to figure out what we want that to be. Like, what's funny in real estate that doesn't offend clients or agents or the industry. And, we've done some fun things like that. It's gone viral, or, making fun of taxes or things that are super relevant. But I said, I want to give the information people want to know about. And I want to do it like in an easy sound bite type of way where they can consume it. But, my coach had said to me, if your clients, your $2, $3, $4, $5 million clients are looking at your Instagram, are they going to hire you? If you're dancing around, jiggling, like, that's not the real estate agent you want.
Right.
In high end.
Yeah. Matt and I have been talking about this on the last few episodes too. Yeah, exactly. You're a high-end luxury realtor. And if you are posting content that's making fun of your clients or just being like overly goofy, that for sure is going to turn people off. And Matt and I definitely have seen an evolution of agent content where people are just trying to go viral and get views on their reels, which does work for agent to agent referrals. But you're also right. Like, if you're pitching a certain lifestyle, don't do that. Like you said, if it's not for you, like you don't want to do stuff like that, like your content still crushes regardless. So you don't have to be us.
Consistency is key.
I constantly kind of struggle with that, especially as I am getting into the higher end. I will say though, me and Peter Torkin have a $10 million new custom build coming out, and I got on the listing. So the developer like pulled me aside and said, I love your videos.
Yeah.
He's like, I need that enthusiasm on the listing. So it can help. It depends on
your videos aren't stupid. Your videos are wildly creative. You're like coming out of Hollywood, the stuff you do.
I'd like to think they're clever and not stupid.
But they're good.
Yeah.
Not stupid.
Well,
I mean, they have a lot of it is hard to find that balance of what's funny enough and creative enough to make both clients, luxury, and agents all consume it, right?
Yeah. And it's definitely a delivery thing. Some people are trying to because I do walk that line of like maybe offending some clients or maybe offending some agents, but like it's how you deliver the content as well. People, for the most part, even if you don't know me, they understand that I'm being sarcastic or
Yeah.
funny. And I think some people can't translate that. It just sounds like I've seen somewhere I'm like, holy shit, I would like you delivered that totally wrong, and it sounds
Yeah.
like you hate everybody.
Well, that's exactly true. It kind of goes back to the whole philosophy of life. You're not for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, so if people are going to misunderstand you as a human in everyday life, people are going to misunderstand you on social media, and like, cut that out. That's not your tribe. That's how I feel. Like when people write stupid things, I'm like, you're not my tribe. And sometimes I'll block them. Swear to God.
They just don't like your video. You just block them. That's
like if
right up mine and Eric's alley.
I mean, if they say something, if they don't understand the point and think that I'm not genuine or being sarcastic,
Yeah.
be like, goodbye.
Well, I mean, it's just not the content creation really just isn't for everybody. And people are trying to like push it down everyone's throat. And for some people, it's just not going to work. I mean, some people are just not great on camera. Like when you see you Keri on camera, you're like, okay, you have a presence on camera. You're likable and people want to watch you. I mean, not everyone's like that.
But they are. Like, you have to believe it. Think of how many unattractive celebrities we love. We've taken all their content. We think they're hilarious. We can watch them forever. You don't have to be a certain type. Like, you just have to be confident and be real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like that's absolutely true too. It's just like sometimes people are super like dry, or they just can't get over that fear. And you can, when you're watching video, you can always tell when someone's being not authentic or not themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. What kind of advice do we have for people who are getting up and doing content and they don't know how to be authentic, or because we all have those days, right, where you do something and you're like, I hated that, I had to do it, I was forced into it, and you see it back and you hate it, but this is what we do for a living. So there's many days you get up and you have to work and you don't feel like it, but you do it. Do the thing, have the power. So, I mean, some of my advice would be like, have a shot of tequila, jump up and down, like real world.
Get drunk before you create the content and promote it to thousands.
Get drunk
of people
before your open house.
Yeah, welcome to the first 3 years of the broke agent.
Well, what I say a lot is, if you can't, like, because as soon as a camera comes in front of people, sometimes, and you're sitting there and you have to deliver something, they just freeze up. But I always say, like, if you have a busy day, why don't you bring another agent or your spouse or someone to just film you?
Yeah.
Just behind, and just see if you can get something out of that.
Yeah. You need a spouse who's willing to do that as well.
Yeah, my spouse. Yeah, she is. She's insane.
I think a lot of it is trial and error. Like, I filmed a video last week that I thought was cringe when I rewatched it. That video where I was telling that fake open house story that I was crapping my brains out at it, and I was just trying to like produce like an original reel, but it did feel forced, and I was just doing it literally for the algorithm. I thought it was kind of funny. Matt thought it was funny. But the response wasn't that great. But no. I think most of this is trial and error too. Like, even if you're doing something for the algorithm, or you're doing something because you're told to do it, you'll get that feeling, and then you'll rewatch it, and then you'll see. Yep. But then you'll adjust, like you adjusted, right? Like you said, you did a couple silly reels and you weren't feeling it, and then you went kind of the more serious, market update route, which is, the analytical, sides of, what's actually going on in the market. So you did trial and error, and now this is crushing for you. So I think like agents just have to understand, like, if it didn't work the first time, if you put out more and more and more content, you're going to figure out what works, because that's how we do it.
Yeah, a lot of trial and error, and just being able to be flexible with what you're doing. And it is hard when you feel forced. It's like, I don't know, probably not a good example, trying to have babies. Sex is fun. When you're trying to have babies, sex is not as fun anymore. So when you're creating content, you're having fun. But when you're being told to create content, I don't know why that was the first example.
Let's clip that. That's a great analogy.
Yeah, there we go. That's the front of the show right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I was talking to somebody recently at a wedding, and he was talking about like their tracking to have babies or whatever, and he goes, I'm in the bathroom like, come on, like you have to get it up to film good authentic content.
Exactly. Yeah, content's like filming porn.
There's another sound clip.
100%.
There's another. You got to get it up to film authentic content.
But
Perfect.
You do, and there are hard days. There's days where you lose deals, or something's going on in your life, and you have to film, and you have to kind of figure out how to make it authentic, or, maybe take a break. I was talking to Taya about this. She had, one day they showed up and they took 2 hours, but they got ready and they got to work and ended up having a good day.
Yeah.
But bulk shooting, I think, is the only way to put out as much content as you need to, unless you're doing content creation for a living. But when you're selling houses, there's not a lot of time for that. So bulk all the way.
Another thing I want to.
Sorry, you do once a month bulk recording?
For the most part, yeah. So videographer will come in. We used to do a Keri TV episode every week, but now we just do about once a month market update, and we do Keri TV tips, KTV tips, and those are the reels. So we'll shoot 1 or 2 Keri TV videos and then a few reels. Like we'll pick a topic like buyer contingencies, getting your house ready for sale, how to show a house. Like we're diving more into doing agent advice now, since I have so many agents following me. We're starting to do like how to win a multiple offer and things like that. So we'll pick and we'll do 4 to 5. And then we'll do the thumbnails. So I'll have the outfits ready, like different shirts, different dresses, different lipstick, different earrings. And then we like kind of time it out. It's pretty organized, and I'm happy to share that with anybody. And the reason it is because when it's not, I'm a mess. I'm on the phone. I'm pissed off. I hate everything. I can't film. I'm not authentic. I like sabotage the whole day. So being ready, having the outfits, what I want to talk about, it's just a game changer to getting all this content out and still being able to keep up with life and travel and sales and all that.
Yeah. Right. If you've taken anything away from this podcast, the Overask podcast, it is bulk shooting works, right, Matt? I mean,
it does.
Everybody
not that I do it.
Yeah. You said you just did it, I thought.
I got 21 videos.
Is this a hoax?
No, I bulk record one day. I got 21 videos out of it. I haven't watched them yet, but
okay.
I talk about everything.
Super excited about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Keri, another thing I want to touch upon with you is I've known you for years, and you've always been a master networker. You and I both have hosted events with the Fab Winner Real Estate, like back in the day, like the first broke agent parties were with you.
They were so fun.
You're also, you go to conferences and everything. So you're hitting the other side of real estate that we never really talk about that much, Matt, which is like the interpersonal communication. Like you're getting your name out there with happy hours and parties and conferences. So I don't really have a question about this, I guess, but I think
talk about networking much. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really. We're kind of more of like a social media marketing podcast, but I think this is an important topic to discuss. Like,
that's a good point.
How are you? What network groups are you joining? Are you creating? Like, what are you doing right now outside of social and marketing to improve your business and meet people?
That is a really good question.
Yes. Got it out finally. That was
there. We go. I know.
Crazy intro.
Holy shit! We got fucking 3-minute question.
Got it out.
When I had moved to the west side from the Valley, because I'm from the Valley originally, selling real estate in the Valley, and I'm like, I want to go to Santa Monica, be at the beach, and sell homes over there. And I'm like, well, how do you do that if you don't know anyone? So I joined meetup groups in the area, girl groups, like chambers, volunteer groups. So I got really deep in a lot, and it was busy. There's events all the time, but these connections you form, then you add them on Facebook and Instagram, not necessarily on an email list, but just stay in touch with them. And they, quite a few of them end up reaching out. Then they have referrals, and that just builds your network. And also being out and about, literally being at restaurants, being at I have clients from bars, not like a ton, but you meet people in the areas that you are. Workout class, like even so much as one of my instructors called me one time, and she's like, can I have your cell? Or she got it from the system, who knows, wherever they got it. And they're like, I just saw a sign. We're actually looking. If you have something else, we'll pay cash. And I sold, the Pilates instructor a house. So like when you're immersed in the community you want to be in, that's where you start to really, it takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight, 2010, 11, I didn't really start kind of getting on my feet on the West Side till 2014-ish, selling more than like 3 houses a year. But, you get there eventually. But in regards to conferences, the conferences can be super overwhelming, right? Like so many people, all the walking, the drinking, the whole thing. So I think it's important to set an intention. Like if there's somebody you want to meet, or a certain number of people you want to meet, or something you want to learn from somebody, and being really open with people that come up to you and want to talk to you, and not dismissing anybody, and, being open to the event, because going to them all the time, you can get a little overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, I've been there, done that. Don't want to deal with that. And so I'm trying to have a fresh approach too.
Yeah.
You got to
What's
roll
your
with the punches at
What's your
conferences.
go-to conference? What's your favorite conference?
I mean, I would say the summit because so many friends are there and I've been so many times, but I also love Inman. Inman is so fun. I love the tech. I love the forward thinking. I love knowing what's next. I love the innovator awards. I love that it doesn't feel corrupt like they're trying to promote anybody. Like most things do feel like that. Just feels like they're out to really grow the industry. I love Brad Inman. I think he's great.
Are you going to Inman this year in
I don't
Vegas?
know. Maybe. Congrats on your nomination.
It's in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should know soon. You say,
Probably
oh,
not.
I guess you're pretty close. I have to drive across or fly across North America.
Yeah, Vegas
Where is it?
quick
Vegas?
for us.
Oh,
Yeah.
Vegas.
yeah.
So
Kind of
you totally changed markets from how far is like the valley from Santa Monica?
It's not that. I mean,
Okay.
it's a lifetime, but no, like 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Okay. But you pretty much focused, like changed marketplaces, your focus.
It was a change of market.
Yeah. And you did all that from just what you were talking about, like going in groups and to gyms and whatever.
Literally, it's that's why I say it's a lifestyle brand, because everybody I've met has been through, the more you know, the more people you know, the higher end people you know, the more luxury sales you'll get into. That's how the whole thing works. But I was just saying, I was at a wedding on Saturday who I had met. I lived in this house, we called it 1133 sorority on Wilshire and 22nd. And from that house, I moved in.
Been there.
Yeah, right?
No, I haven't.
That was 12 years ago. I have met so many people who I've sold homes to, become friends with from that very house. Like just off the top of my head, 4 transactions with one, 3 with another, 3 with another. So it's all the networking.
Yeah, you're very approachable.
You think
feel
so?
I feel like you're very I don't know, you seem so nice. Like I don't know. I think I'm approachable, but I think I give off like Eric for sure does. I mean, no one would ever want to fucking walk up to that guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
go to the next conference. People come up to me and say,
we're gonna be there together. We're gonna be there together. We're gonna
everybody.
see who comes up more to us.
You should take tally of that. And see.
Yeah, we should. I mean, Eric cheats because he wears a "I am the broke agent" shirt all the time, but
it's branding, Matt. Something
nothing
about. It's about building a brand, building that repetition in people's mind.
Keri,
Keri, you're very fashionable and approachable.
Oh,
do you wear anything specifically at conferences that like promotes your brand? Are you one of those that wears like an orange suit or something like that?
No, she's not insane, Eric.
You had that post about merch, and I was like, I'm not a merch girl. I'm just not. I hate merch.
There's agents that only rep their brokerage, basically. Katie Day, Move Me to Texas, crushes it, but that's engraved in everybody's head. But she's wearing that same shirt.
And I love that. No, I love that for other. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I don't know.
I can't get behind like the Century 21 polo. Like, I need a bit more than that, like your team or something.
Right.
I think it's all about getting noticed when you're wearing something that promotes your brand, or where you're wearing hats or jackets. Like you're building an identity and you're going to get attention and you're going to get business from it regardless. So I totally support the merch thing. I think in general, just as a human with all my stuff, I feel like I'm kind of a loud individual. So if I'm going to like merch it out, I think I just would be too much.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I legit get business from wearing band t-shirts.
There you go.
Honestly, people that's how I start conversations with people a lot of the time. It's like, oh my God, I love that band.
I mean, yeah, that's another thing with networking.
Maybe I'm a genius.
Hats, all that. Yeah. I mean, it's all about building rapport, right?
Yeah.
So also with the agency, they obviously have great merch. Matt and I have talked about this before.
The best.
Yes. But the agency now is about to have its own show, Buying Beverly Hills.
They are.
What are your thoughts on this? Are you a part of this? Do you know the agents on it? What's happening with this?
So we've had this selling sunset thing. So the agency is buying Beverly Hills. It's pretty cool. I'm super excited for it. They started casting for it maybe a year ago, and their whole premise was the real agent. We're not trying to do the high-end luxury agent and all the commissions. We want to show the process from start to finish. And then somewhere along the way, Netflix switched it to like the up and coming Agents of Beverly Hills specifically. So Mauricio and his daughters are on it, and a few great agents, and it's going to be pretty real, authentic, a little bit of drama, but nothing like scripted, not a bunch of nonsense. It's going to be really exciting for the show, and hopefully the agency comes off as the powerful brand that it is, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Eric, no, I'm not on it, if that's what you were asking.
I was not going to ask that. But
Okay.
up and coming agents, Mauricio was like, I guess his daughters as the up and coming agents.
Well, you need
Mauricio
some
is
sort
the
of name for
you
like
need to start power,
like
of
I mean,
course.
yeah, Mauricio. Well, there's a couple like Santiago's on it, right?
Santi, yeah.
Yes,
right.
and
You got to have the best looking
John.
guys in real estate on it.
Yeah.
John Grumman. Yeah, that guy's also incredible looking.
Incredible looking.
Santi, yes.
Santiago,
No,
John,
Santi,
and
John,
Mauricio.
Mauricio. I mean, they're probably the three best looking people I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Hell of a lineup right there.
And it's that they're so, I haven't met John, but it's that they're so nice too. That adds to it. It's like they're the nicest people in the world.
They are. Yeah, they're all super nice, and the girls are beautiful and super nice, and Allie and Melissa and Farah, and so it's gonna be awesome.
So it's already been filmed, the show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It was
Do you make an
filmed.
appearance in any episode?
You never know what'll be cut, but they had a few little mix-ups that we got involved with, but hopefully it'll
Nice.
make it.
Sweet. Like fist fight mix-ups?
No.
Okay, cool.
Like client drama.
Okay,
I like that.
sweet.
I like that it sounds like they're taking a different angle than not just selling the drama aspect, because I think that's what agents crave from a show. But I don't know if that's what just the normal consumer craves. Because anytime I've done a post about $1 million listing or selling Sunset or something, all agents are like, "Who even watches this stuff?"
Right.
But I would watch a show if it was more realistic, showing
agree.
agent to agent communication.
Like Sunset, like it was, real estate was kind of the backbone of it, but it was more drama, like a reality show, like the real world meets
totally.
The
first episode I watched, I think maybe season 1, episode 1, the girl was in a house with someone, and she's like, "Oh, he just wants to sleep with me. He doesn't want to buy a house." And I'm like, "You're making us all look like hookers. Like that's not real. Like,
right?
We're not getting seduced by men at showings." Well, I don't know. I'm not. Are you guys?
No, I mean, we're not doing shows.
No, I don't know. Eric. Yeah, Eric just stays in that bedroom.
Go ahead, Matt. Say it.
No, just
say
no.
it.
Eric hasn't sold. He says he's been out of real estate for a year, but I mean, let's be honest. The guy's never. Guy's sold.
There we go.
Yeah,
like clockwork. That's what we wanted.
Keri, have you ever seen Eric at an open house?
Yeah, you actually have.
Eric and I have. Yeah, we've had some dealings together. He actually does sell real estate. Doesn't just do content.
Oh my God, you've done it. Hold on, you've done a deal with him?
We didn't do a deal. No.
Oh yeah,
we almost did a couple deals though. And
what happened? Eric's buyers fall through, or what
I sat in an inspection at one of your listings for Robbie.
Who's Robbie?
Robbie. Robbie Sikora. He was representing the buy side, and then I think I sat one of his inspections once, like a year ago or something.
Oh,
like
that would have been so funny if you just didn't know who Robbie was. That would have been so much better.
Good thing Robbie doesn't listen to this; he'd be heartbroken. Keri, I want to get quickly into the market right now. What are you telling your clients? What fears are they having, and how are you articulating the current market to them?
I am data heavy, just as you know from my Instagram, but you can't give advice or talk to clients without knowing what is really happening. And even very high-end successful clients, especially older male clients who've been in real estate for a long time, they can't understand the market that's happening. So having only facts to go back with them, they really don't have a lot of pushback. The only pushback is, we're in year 10 of a 7-year cycle. We've never had this in history, really. So it doesn't make sense. So we're just going to lean on history and expect it to crash. But when you look at the actual facts, interest rates are still historically low. There's still not enough homes for people to buy. Like inventory has gone up as a whole, but in Santa Monica, there really hasn't been a lot of new inventory come on. We've gone from a 3-month supply to a 4-month supply. And that's nothing. We do have double days on market and things like that. But I think truly, honestly, everybody was in Europe in July and they were over the rates and they were over shopping and they're frustrated and they said, I'm going to take a break. I personally have like 5 clients off the top of my head, 5 buyers who haven't bought anything, who said, we're just exhausted. We're going to take a break. So I think people just went on summer trip And a lot of those people are back in the game now. And so I'm looking at the facts of what's happening, supply and demand. We have the largest generation of buyers ever in history, the baby boomers kids, the millennials, which are all of us. And a lot of them are first-time buyers or they're move-up buyers. But personally, from an agent perspective, I would be targeting homeowners who want to move up or move down, who are looking to downsize or upsize, because they have the most motivation and they're finally in a market where they can compete. Like previously, if you have to sell something, like good luck, right? But now if you have to sell something, you price it well, negotiate with that buyer, and then you have more opportunities on what you're purchasing. So it's a great market right now for move up buyers.
Okay, so let's talk about this, because I'm having this issue right now. So we're I mean, the prices at the beginning of the year here were insane. People were selling here legit $400,000-$500,000 over ask.
Oh yeah,
because they were listing super low, so it wasn't like it was going over market value that much, but they're still expecting those prices. So say something. I go to a listing or let's say you go to a listing appointment, and in January this year, that house was worth 1.4. Now you go in and you tell them it's worth 1.1. How do you talk them into still listing at that price? Because so many people are stuck at that price their neighbor got at the beginning of the year.
Do you think the market's gone down that much?
In some places here, like, we have sunk. But I'm just saying, like, just to be crazy,
It is when this market shifted recently, how fast did it happen? Like that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
like rug pulled under
totally
your feet.
So I've said to buyers, it's going to change just as fast. When somebody gets back in the market, just like you who was waiting, they're all getting back in the market. And all of a sudden you're seeing 10 offers and 15 offers on things. Yeah. For sellers, it's almost like devil's advocate. Like, we don't know. Could it get worse? Will it change and go back to being crazy? All we know is what we have right now. And right now you have to price to make buyers excited. They were just saying on CNBC last week, like, aspirational pricing is just out the door, and having real conversations with sellers. If they're not in line with the market, the comps, and what to expect, then it's probably not worth your time to work with them, because they're going to be a big headache and stress. And we already know real estate is a stressful industry to be in.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to cut your losses on that. But I've got a couple sellers that are pushing back on pricing right now.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of content has driven this also. Like, a lot of fear-based content from, media headlines trying to get clicks, from us making memes about it or something like that. It's almost like everybody at once 3 months ago decided that the market flipped. I mean, obviously the rise in rates and everything actually, is causing this, and more inventory is coming on, I guess, in certain markets. But I think that it's like a huge content push by everybody definitely stoked the fears of buyers, because as a buyer myself, looking in like San Diego or LA, like, we're seeing all these headlines too, and we're just like, all right, well, should we wait a little bit, or what's going on here? So,
but the headlines are meant to scare.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what they're meant to be, that big headline where people. I have so many clients who literally just be like, "Oh yeah, the market's down 87% because they read some headline where they've pulled, of all of Canada or some shit, and they don't see like market by market." But yeah, I've had
87%.
Yeah, I know. I just went.
That's the number of agents that fail in the first.
Yeah, I always use 87%.
Yeah, that's our favorite percentage.
Yeah. I just went to do a listing appointment, and the house on the street in February sold for $1,020,000, like down the street, and I priced them at like $850, because and one just sold for like $840, like,
wow,
2 weeks ago. So it was like such a hard sell. They're like, well, that one went for $1,020,000. I was like, yeah, but we've had like 4 interest rate hikes since then. Like, people are pausing. They don't know what to do. But then the way I try and spin it, always with a positive, is like, you're going to be buying way lower too. Mm-hmm. So like, don't, focus on like what you're going to be walking away with at the end of the day. Who cares what you sell for if you're buying for way lower as well?
Of course. Yep. It's all relative. And plus it's overall appreciation, just because you're not at that 1.4, 1.2 number. What did you buy it for? What are you making?
Exactly.
They're using their houses like ATM machines.
Yeah.
Just banking on crazy appreciation, but we still have crazy appreciation.
Oh my
Where
God.
else can you make money like this?
Yeah.
the housing market's just phenomenal. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on that I don't necessarily agree with. I mean, the Fed raising rates to fight inflation, which is really just because they were printing money. Like, I am not a full fan of what is going on at the top right now. So I'm just really trying to focus on my clients and solving their problems. Tom put out a good reel last week. The more problems you can answer and solve, the more clients you can help, and really just cutting ties with the clients that aren't in reality with where we are right now. And the market is a great market to be in. Like, who would you rather be in, this market right now or the market we were in 6 months ago? Like, it was psychotic.
It's way
Yeah,
more
and
balanced. It's way more
fun.
balanced.
It's way more fun to talk about too. I feel like now everyone's so interested. Before everyone would just say, okay, the market's crazy. It's a seller's market. There's no inventory. Now realtors become so much more valuable because you're actually providing that data. That's how you're separating yourself from the other agents, instead of just saying, oh, it's nuts. And they could choose any agent they want, any buyer's agent, because it just, or any listing agent, I mean, because it just didn't matter.
The whole nuts, bananas, crazy, I just tried to take that out of my vocabulary, because I'm like, it doesn't, if you're telling clients that the market's crazy, like, that doesn't excite them to do anything.
No. It adds to their anxiety.
That's what people say when they have no idea what to say. That's what I would say all the time. I'm just like, oh, it's nuts.
I just say that. I just say that when I don't want to talk to someone. They're like, how's the market? Because crazy, you notice every time sometimes when people ask you like how the market is, just to start conversation, you'll like get into it, and then they'll be like, what? They get like standoff. It's like, well, we're not selling. It's like, well, you fucking asked the question. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to give you some valuable information.
Don't you know the Tom Ferry script? Are you buying, selling, investing, or renting?
Yeah, there you go. But
I'm gonna.
How are you showing this data to your clients? Like, I see that you're actually doing it on Instagram with like a keep in current matters chart and stuff, which I think is really effective, and more agents should do. Is that green screen style, reel where you're actually showing a chart or showing a graph and like going over the data, because those visuals provide so much more value than just verbalizing it.
Yeah, and good point. KCM uses those visuals like over and over again. Like, have them saved on your favorites or on, folder on your desktop, and just constantly send them to people. We started getting heavy into e-blasts, which we've never used to do. We send like 2 a year, which is terrible. But now we're doing one every single week, which is kind of crazy. Like, oh, I'm a real estate agent, I don't do e-blasts. But in those, we have a lot of content on the market. We'll put the graphs, we'll put the articles, and letting people know. And we'll also try to make it personal, like put something in that we're doing in our lives, Father's Day, travel.
Do you use any BombBomb or anything like that?
We just use Active Pipe. It's through the agency.
Yeah, but the video, do you know BombBomb?
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, I just
like
500 for BombBomb. We're not even using it.
Okay, yeah. I just know there's like a lot of agents use it and have success with it.
You can track through Active Pipe who's clicking on your video, who's watching it, who's clicking on. So it's very user friendly. We were using BombBomb and MailChimp and whatnot, but now we're just in Active Pipe. But it's all a lot of work. But we're trying to take everything in our brand through, like, running through the tunnel, like in the same fashion. So everything that we are in social media, we're trying to be on our e-blasts, we're trying to be in our videos without being too, like, I'm not known for being a boring person, but I do want to keep it more professional for the most part. So still trying to be my like authentic, silly self. And, because that is, when you're young in real estate, you feel like, I don't know about you guys, but when I first started, I used to dress like a total nerd, like suit, button-up shirt, like very boring, because I thought no one will take a 22-year-old seriously selling a house, because on the weekends I was like hanging upside down on boats or something, like just crazy. So I was like
doing keg stands on yachts.
Yeah,
but like, I can do a keg stand and a counter offer at the same time. Like, I have a magical ability where I
keg
can
stands and counters. I like that.
I can keg stands and counters. Yeah, like I can be drinking margaritas and take a call and whatever.
Be a breakout room.
I do that. Yeah, right. That would be fun. I'm not saying I do that on the regular, but like, I'm a lifestyle agent, so I'm living my life. But as I got older and more successful, I was able to bring more of my personality into it. And I was like, I'm gonna wear a short skirt and I don't care. They're either my tribe or they're not. So I think you grow, you change as you get older, and you, like they say, putting on your Superman, your super persona. Who's that author? Phil something maybe?
J.K. Rowling, J.R. Tolkien, Louis Satcher. That's all I got.
Put on your Harry Potter, like your alter ego.
Yeah, put on your put on your sorting hat.
But you kind of earn that as well, through being like a kick-ass agent. Like you
Take
can't
stands and counters?
if you just yeah,
That's what
if
you
you
are?
just
You do.
Coffee and contracts.
if you just go into it being like, oh, I don't give a shit, I'm going to do whatever I want without having any sort of track record. Like you now have a track record. People know what you do and that you can, sell at a high level. So now you can you can be a little more loosey goosey if you wanted, because people understand what you do and that you do it really well.
Yeah, and to be honest, you know how they say when you're cultivating or following up, you should add them to Instagram and all that stuff? I'm like, I never want them to see that until I've closed, because they're not going to think I can close anything. Just crazy. That's a stupid thing to think. But once we close a deal, my clients know that I'm awesome, and then they can see more of me. But I need to change. That's a limiting belief that I have, clearly.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it is definitely important to be cognizant of what's happening in the deal to know what not to post. I mean, that's something we also have preached. Like I did a video on actually, no, I didn't do a video on this.
Good video
idea. Ebook or something. I don't know, but about like what not to post and how to, don't post that you're golfing at 2 p.m. if you're not responding to your client or something like that. Like all that stuff matters because they can see that. They get pissed off if you're just communicating with them. If you're at another showing, they'll get upset with another client, right? So they want to be constantly catered to. So your social media presence is also about what not to post, when not to post.
Yeah. Same with not texting people back, but then liking their post on Instagram. Like you can't do that either.
Exactly.
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
there's a whole
careful.
digital game. We should actually write a book.
Yeah.
Called the digital game of real estate that, allows you to get all these, attractions with certain,
but what's that old saying? What's that old saying? Like, if you don't, it's everything's much easier if you don't tell lies or some shit. Like if you just do what you're supposed to do, you never have to worry about that.
It's so true.
Yeah.
When you're telling, when everything's truthful, there's nothing to remember.
Yeah, there we go. Keri's an author here.
Yeah, is that on your board up there? It looks like there's a bunch of sayings.
I actually have that tattooed on my back.
That thing is so old.
What is that thing? That looks like a live, laugh, love thing times 5,000.
I honestly moved the computer because I was like, that is so embarrassing. That's still there. This is like the back side of my
God,
house.
look at that thing.
It is a little inspirational.
Learn more, be creative, life.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Eric's trying to. Eric, do you want to know what she had for cooking for breakfast back there? What the fuck? You want to talk about everything in her house?
Yeah, exactly.
But Keri, we appreciate it. We appreciate you coming on. We know you're busy, a lot busier than Eric. And we just really appreciate it. Maybe we'll say, Eric, can we get Keri a shirt? Maybe she'll wear some of our merch.
Yeah. We'll send her
I've
a
worn
stands and contract shirt.
It's pretty funny. I have worn the Broke Agent some of the stuff before for Halloween and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I have my favorite cup. Real estate makes me wine.
Exactly. Like I'm
that's a
scary. Those Halloween shirts were. I think I sold like 3 of them or something.
Really? I bought one.
Like 2 of them. I know.
We had some good ones last year that didn't hit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll jump back on that. But Keri, we will see you at the Tom Ferry conference, correct?
Yes.
In Dallas, possibly at Inman in Vegas.
It's hot.
So probably not in Inman in Vegas, but we'll see you in Dallas.
It's hot.
Yes. And Keri, where can the people follow you? Everyone should go follow Keri immediately.
Yes. IG is Keri Ann, which is Keriann, Keriann. And that was because I had a very inappropriate Instagram screen name a while ago, and it was K.A. Fokker. So I had to change it, and then everybody was upset. So I had to keep it something like in between, and so now it's not Keri Sells Homes, and it never will be.
Right.
Good.
Keriann.
Thank God.
Yeah, Keri Sells LA.
I know. I don't even get me. We can have a whole other podcast about those names.
There's nothing wrong with it. If it's your tribe, go for it. Like
no,
exactly.
Don't go for it. I can't do it anymore. There's only some. Buy with Mel.
Move with Ben, maybe. Move with Miranda.
Move with Miranda. Yeah, I know. Well,
anyways, hey, if you're watching on YouTube, throw us a like, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever, give us a review if it's good. Thank you, Keri.
Yes, thank you, Keri.
Thank you both. It was fun.